the true value silver should be right around $260 plus, Ron.
Wow.
Today.
260?
260 today, Ron.
Wow. Silver and gold investors are watching in amazement as we wrap up 2023 with a world record in the gold market. But that also flows through into our friend silver. We're going to talk about that. What about major black swan events in 2024? And we have a lot more to talk about with our good friend, Coin Shop Chris. Thank you for joining us.
How you doing, Ron? Happy New Year. Happy New Year to all your viewers out there. And if I could just get everybody to like, share, and subscribe, I would appreciate that. We're going for 34,000 subscribers by February 14th. So let's show some love and subscribe, please.
Yeah, let's show some love to the silver and gold price, Chris. Let's talk about 2023 quickly. Did you know that gold was up like almost 15% in 2023? Silver held its own, but both did that in the face of some very negative forces that were working to keep the price suppressed. If we go into 2024 and a few of those factors change to our favor, don't you think we could continue to see much, much higher prices in both the metals?
Absolutely, Ron. I mean, we've said this before. I'm really looking at mid-February to beginning of March where we're going to take off here. These banks are in trouble. We talked about this numerous times on your channel, Ron. These banks do not have the money to pay back their loans. What's going to happen? We will see pretty darn soon.
How do you feel, and how do you think our viewer feels when we realize that we actually had two world records, a new all-time high in gold a few Sunday nights ago, and again we know that flows through to the silver price, but also the LBMA. Now, you were born in London and raised in London, Chris. Any thoughts on this fact that the LBMA actually put out a press release saying that, I think it was Wednesday of last week, they hit a new all-time high for the price of gold on the LBMA? What are your thoughts on that?
I was born in London. Okay. That's news to me.
I bet you have a British accent.
I got a Maine accent. So what I think about that, Ron, is other countries are starting to have their own policies. And, here in the States, they want to suppress it. And, the more countries that join the BRICS, Ron, the more it's better for silver and gold owners in the long run. That's going to just shoot up the price. And we're going to, our country will be left with nothing wrong. I hate to say that. I really do. But all those metals are going to foreign countries. Every single bit, just most of it's going to foreign countries, and they're using suppression to buy it up from us.
Yeah. Well, do you think, Chris, that our viewer who's joining us right now would want to hear what Ruth Crowell had to say about this?
I have no idea who she is.
You don't know Ruth Crowell? Well, she knows who Coin Shop Chris is. Ruth Crowell is the LBMA, the London Bullion Market Association, Chief Executive Officer. Let me tell you what she said. Quote, I can think of no clearer demonstration of gold's role as a store of value than the enthusiasm with which investors across the world, including Coin Shop Chris, have turned to the metal during the recent economic and geopolitical turmoils.
Well, that's pretty impressive. She actually said that wrong, but I doubt she used my name. But no, I mean, this is where we go into, Ron, where a lot of people who's coming into this, silver and gold is not an investment, Ron. I mean, that leads right into this story. It's a hedge against inflation. It's a store of wealth. If you're thinking silver and gold is an investment, your miles are not even about invest. You miles not. Now I'm saying investment. You miles not convert your money into silver and gold. Put it someplace else then, because it's not there for an investment.
Well, and you and I can agree to disagree. I think I look at silver and gold as an investment. I look at mining stocks as an investment as well. I think, to me, maybe an investment anytime I look at an investment, I'm looking at trying to increase my wealth or maintain my wealth. And I think that from my perspective only, right, that and I know some people definitely agree with you that maybe it's not a quote unquote investment, but to me, silver in particular as a physical metal is something that I believe will allow you or I or that person who's joining us right now to preserve and maintain their wealth and have a decent shot at actually increasing in value when measured against things like whatever oil, real estate, unicorn fart dust dollars, whatever the case may be.
Well, I'll fire back at you on this one. You say it's not. You say it's an investment. And then you said preserve your wealth. Well, we can go back to the Home Alone movie where you back in 1990, silver was $5.20 an ounce, and Kevin McAllister used that, $19.83, whatever it was, and now today's value is $72 in that same groceries. So if you had put the $20 away 33 years ago, Ron, you still have $20 today versus having silver bought back then. That silver, each ounce of silver would have gained you 15, almost 20 bucks on.
Right. But so that's why I look at it as an investment that yeah, I mean, I'm saying I think silver is an investment that it will at least maintain. And in the example that you use with the Home Alone, where, it essentially cost him 4 ounces of silver in 1990, today, those same groceries would cost about 3 ounces of silver, and you'd have an extra ounce of silver left over. To me, that's a actual real return on investment, a value of silver versus those groceries.
Yes, and I see your point of it too. Yes, I do.
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes down to it's a word. You know what I mean? It's how somebody defines the word, and I think that it's maybe a nuance type thing, but at the end of the day, I'm confident, unless I'm just delusional, that you and I are on the same boat. That like we look at things like silver as a way to protect ourselves, as a way to and possibly facilitate at some point, if the real value of it shoots up, a way to maybe convert some of it into other real assets if, a little window of opportunity were to arrive.
Absolutely. And that's what you're stacking for. That's what I'm stacking for. And that's what most of your viewers are stacking for.
Okay. I just want to make sure we're still friends.
Of course we are. It's all right to disagree. That's what we're here for. A little banter back and forth, that's fine.
Well, talk about the possibility of silver skyrocketing. Okay, I want to get your thoughts on this. We had mainstream media, CBS, Face the Nation. One of the reporters, her name is, hold on here, Catherine Herridge, was on mainstream Face the Nation. Says she made a dark prediction that 2024 will produce a black swan event. Miss Herridge made the call during a roundtable discussion when she was asked by host Margaret Brennan what she could expect to see unfold over the coming year. And she said, well, mine's a little dark. I just feel a lot of concern that 2024 may be the year of a black swan event. She said, this is a national security event with high impact that's very hard to predict. If Miss Herridge on CBS Face the Nation, if her thoughts come true, do you think we'll be happy that we're sitting on some physical silver, Chris?
I think we'll be happy, but I also think we're going to, it's going to be very depressing times because, we got 2 wars going on. We got cyber attacks going on. And that's just continue into 2024. And that is just a run for silver and gold. And if you have it, you'll be better off. But are we really going to be better off with, if we don't get imports from other countries, what's going to be left on the shelf, Sean? That's my concern. What's going to be left on the shelves?
Yeah. What about the coin shop? We're talking about people needing, the benefits of holding silver and gold. What are your observations, Chris, at the coin shop regarding kind of the retail silver gold investor? What have they been up to last few weeks?
Well, I'm seeing a steady, I don't want to say, overwhelming, buying right now. It's been steady. I mean, from last year, we're a little bit down, maybe about 4.5% from last year's sales. I think that has to do with the price of silver and gold just right now. And I think that has to do with people can't afford to put their money into silver and gold. But this little story, a girl came in the day after Christmas, Ron. She had a gold buffalo, I believe it was. Maybe it was a gold eagle. And she had no clue what the value was. She got this for Christmas. Her father did not tell her what it really was, the value of it was.
Mm-hmm.
And so she came in, she says, I just want to know what this is worth. And I said, if you would like to sell it, I can offer you 2104. She thought I was talking $21.04, Ron. I says, no. I says, $2,104. She says, you will give me that much money? I says, that's what it's worth right now to me, for us to buy at the shop. If people gave silver and gold, please let the person know who you gave it to what that product is worth, so someone don't get ripped off. Please do yourself that favor. Have a spreadsheet. If you're leaving it for somebody else after you pass on, have a spreadsheet. Update that spreadsheet every 6 months. I cannot stress that enough, Ron.
Yep. So did you buy it? You never told us.
No,
Did she sell it or keep it?
She said, I don't need the money. But she says, she thanked us for being honest with her, but and we told her a little bit about silver and gold, what it could do in the future. And since then, we could add another $40 today, just from a couple of days ago, because gold's gone up, Ron.
Right.
So we could have, that's the whole thing in a nutshell. Know what your stuff is worth before you sell it, and ask around different coin shops, different online deals, what they're willing to pay for it before you go to one source.
Gotcha. So did you ever figure out a way to get that lipstick off to your side of your cheek you called about last night to talk to Susie?
No, that's actually your story, Rod.
No, because I can imagine she jumped across the counter and gave you a big kiss when you told her it was worth $2,100, right? What,
Well,
100 times?
yeah, she thought it was worth $21.04, which I kind of laughed at it, but there's a lot of people. You can go use that story. Some of us seen that video clip on YouTube where the guy offered some of the candy bar 1 ounce gold coin, and nobody touched their gold coin, Ron. Everybody wanted the candy bar for $2.
Yeah, it makes me think you and I should get a box of candy bars and go stand on the corner and have a sign say, we'll trade candy bars for gold coins.
There we go. Yeah.
I'm going to quickly tell this story. That was early on in our relationship, Chris, when we first met, when we were in the springtime of our relationship. One of the things that compelled me to you was, very early on, you emailed me and said, I work at a coin shop. Some lady brought in a gold coin of some sort. She knew the value of the gold, but you and the owner realized that it was actually a very collectible coin. And I think you told her, like that you thought you guys should send it off. Like you could have just bought the coin for the value of the gold, but that you recommended that you send it off and get it graded. And it came back and was worth several $1,000s more from a numismatic perspective. Do I have that story correct, Chris?
It was actually a walking half silver, 90% half Ron. I believe it was a 1921D. I mean, this thing was in mint condition.
Yeah.
And, she sold us a whole bag. And, technically speaking, we go through everything. We check all the dates on everything after we buy it. And we asked her, did she check all the dates? She was not worried about that. And I said, well, just give us your phone number in case we find something rare. And, towards the bottom of the bag, there was this beautiful coin. We sent it off, Ron, and it came back $1,000, came back around $9,000 for that one coin.
9,000? Yeah, I remember
9,
that. Yeah. So then you called her back and gave her the money, right?
Well, we called her and said, we got some options for you. We can buy it at, ungraded price, or you can pay for the $40 grading fee, which I highly recommend.
Yeah.
So she paid us for the $25 for the paperwork for us, for our fee, and paid the $40 for the grading fee, send it off to NGC. 6 weeks later, came back on. It came back as an MS63 or 64. I really don't remember what it actually, but it came back as a high graded coin.
Interesting.
And
Well, one thing,
that's the right thing to do in this business. You know, I
one
mean,
thing, one thing for, go ahead.
technically speaking, you know, she didn't know, and you know, she was not interested in going through them herself, so we spent the time to go through, and it's just the right thing to do for anybody.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and what I wanted to say was one thing for sure: you're not going to have any wait at the pearly gates, Chris. They're going to let you right in when you head up to heaven, right?
Well, maybe not, because I can be a bad boy, Ron.
Just another example of why CoinShop Chris is such a perfect person. Chris, what about Pimbex? What about doing some comparison shopping that you've done lately? Speaking of finding deals and helping people out, which you always like to do.
No, we talked about this a couple videos, Ron. You had me on your live shows a couple times this past week. We're gonna stay with the peace dollars this week, Ron. And I tell you, Pimbex is the best price again. These are for peace dollars, very good plus grade. Both AtMax and SE Bullion had them for $26.99 this week. That was for 1 to 19 of them. JM Bullion was not available; they were out. Hero Bullion was out last week. They have them back in stock this week. There came in at $26.49. Money Metals came in at $27.75, but they actually advertise them as calls, meaning, you know, that, you know, the dates are worn off, can't see the peace sign logo on the back. They're just in really rough shape. Pimbex had them for $25.25 this week, Ron. And I tell you, Ron, I spent hours this week scanning eBay. You can't touch them off of eBay less than about $27.75 in this grade. Pimbex wins. Pimbex wins, and I'm literally telling you, everybody, I've spent hours looking, trying to find a cheaper price, and there's no way anybody can beat Pimbex at this price. So thank you, Pimbex. Let's all put in the comments, thank you, Pimbex, for this deal. You know, so let them know that we appreciate them. You know, I can't say enough about this price, Ron. And what a better way to end the year with the holidays, going with the peace dollars again.
Yep. So the price difference between Pimbex and, let's say, the highest of the other online bullion dealers was almost $2. Is that correct?
About $1.75 each, yes.
$1.75. So if you're going to buy 100 of them, you're looking at saving $175, which we always love to do this. You could use that savings to buy yourself, what, 6, maybe not American Silver Eagles, but maybe 6 Britannias or 6 Silver Round. You could get 6 extra ounces or 6 extra or 7 extra of the peace dollars.
Absolutely, for the same thing that these other online dealers are selling for. Absolutely.
Yeah. Instead of getting 100, you get 7 extra ones, and you can put them in an envelope and send them to CoinShop Chris.
That's not necessary, but I would appreciate that. Yes.
Right. Yeah. And by the way, if you want to help support CoinShop Chris, there's a link in this description of this video with his PayPal address. He does this out of the kindness of his heart. He's also, what I'm going to give you a compliment, Chris. If there's anybody that knows the coin market, especially from this perspective of searching, I mean, in the weeds, searching through eBay to find the best deals, the best values out there. I know that's an area that you excel in and really are able to keep your finger on the pulse of what's going on in that segment of the silver market. So we thank you for that and all the information that you share with us. What do you think about the silver to gold ratio? Let's talk about that briefly before we get to the 30-day numbers, which everybody is waiting for. But the silver to gold ratio, what is it? 84, 85, 82, whatever it is. I mean,
it's somewhere around there. I didn't pull that this week. I do apologize, Ron. I didn't even think about doing that this week. But it's right around 84 to 85, I would say. Yes.
So that means that if you want to get 1 ounce of gold, you need to trade about 85 ounces of silver. I mean, what's your first gut? I'll ask our viewers, put it in the comments. What's your first gut reaction when you hear that? I mean, I love gold, and I love silver, but I'll just tell you my reactions. Like, I don't think I want to trade 4 tubes of American Silver Eagles and then 5 singles on top of that for 1 ounce of gold. I just don't want to do it.
And it'd probably be even more than that, Ron, because most coin shops will charge you a spread a little bit higher than that so they can make their cut both ways.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're probably going to add, 4 ounces at least on top of that spread.
Yeah.
To get your 1 ounce gold. I mean, it's people think that's not right, but the coin shop needs to make money. Yeah, it's kind of like a double dip. I kind of admit that it is kind of like a double dip, but coin shops need to make money both ways there. It's a sell. It's a sell into a coin shop, and then you're buying it you're trading it back for this.
But that's not fair, Chris, because
I know it's not
silver
fair.
comes out of the ground. There's and I hear different numbers. I heard Eric Sprott the other day say 12, but I've heard more like 7 or 8. Like, for each ounce of gold that's mined every year, there's only 8 ounces of silver that come out of the ground. And then a lot of the silver is consumed, right? It goes away. It's used in, I don't know, what do they use silver in? I'm not sure. Hot air balloons or something? What is silver used in?
Your circuit boards, medicines, Ron, medical equipment, Ron, everything. It's used in every day.
I know, right? Everything.
Every day, and it's even in your whatever device you're listening on. It's even in your device. There's no Bitcoin in your device.
Yeah,
I'll leave it at that.
And there you go. That's you get 1 Bitcoin dig per video. But why can't I come to the coin shop and trade 8 ounces of silver for 1 ounce of gold? That seems more fair.
It just don't work. It's not, the value's not there right now, Ron.
I know.
You and I might think the value, technically silver should be, if you did the true inflation rate like they used to do it, $260 plus, Ron.
Wow.
Today.
260?
260 today, Ron.
Wow. I'm going to put that in the thumbnail. That's a good one. Wow, I didn't realize that. Thank you.
I mean, people, thought, when we had $300 gold back in 1990, Ron, did we ever think gold would be at almost $2,100 again? I mean, no. and people say, I won't buy it when it gets a certain price. People are buying at $2,100, Ron. People are buying silver at this price, and people will pay up 50, 60, 70, 80 plus dollars of silver when it gets those levels too. I mean,
yeah.
It's going to happen, and there'll be some sellers out there who want to turn it back in fiat, and that is, to me, not financial advice, Ron. We can't do that on here, but to me, that's the wrong move if you're going to sell it back for fiat.
Yeah. Well, I'll give financial advice. If you have credit card debt and are paying 30% per year interest rates, it's a real good idea, folks, to pay off your credit card debt. I'll give that financial advice. I don't think that it's smart to convert your physical silver back to fiat, unicorn fart dust, paper money. I mean, think about it, right? Just think about the fact that that paper dollar's lost almost 99% of its value over the last, 100 years, basically? And in the last 50 years, I read this the other day, it was fascinating, Chris, that in the last 50 years, the US dollar has lost, just in the last 50 years, since 1970, whatever, has lost 98% of its value when measured against gold.
Wow. Yeah.
Let's talk about some numbers. What are the 30-day numbers, Mr. Chris?
Silver, the past 30 days, Ron, silver was actually down $1.05 or down 4.81%. Gold was up $24.70 or up 1.21%. Platinum is on a move right now. It's something to watch. It's up $64.10 or up 6.81%. Your bag of thinner air, like to call Bitcoin or rat poison, was up $3,981.10 or up 10.52%. Oil is something I need to watch very closely here. It was up early in the week. It's crashed back down. Oil's down the last 3 days, $6.53 per barrel, or down 8.39%.
Wow, man. Bitcoin is really doing great, especially compared to silver.
Well, Bitcoin last week, Ron, it was over $7,000. So Bitcoin's come crashing back down too.
Yeah, but man, it's really been doing well, hasn't it? Those people that have their money in Bitcoin are doing great.
Well, I got bags of compressed air on for sale for $54.99. If anybody would like one, please PayPal me and give me your address, and I'll be happy to send it to you for $54.99, a bag of compressed air. And it's 100 pounds.
What if they want to pay you with Bitcoin?
No, that's not going to work. I'll take 2 ounces. I'll take 2 ounces of silver or $54.99, Ron.
I don't want to know what kind of air you put in those bags. Hey, Chris,
It's
on behalf of everyone,
compressed air.
Compressed air, special air. On behalf of everyone who's joined us today, and including myself, I want to say thank you. Okay, you've shared a lot of great information with us. Everyone loves these weekly updates from our friend Coin Shop Chris. Don't forget his PayPal link is in the description of this video. Can we count on seeing you next week and we can get another Bitcoin update?
Absolutely, Ron. We're beginning 2024. I thank everybody for everybody's support. We appreciate you all, and we will see you all next week.
Yep, and good luck to you, Chris, selling those bags of compressed air. Okay, you can give us an update on that next week.
I'm sure I'll sell one. I'm sure I'll sell one, Ron.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, Ron.